Hello, I'm Stephen. Welcome to my channel. This is my house and workshop today. If you'd like to see how I got here, stick around. I'll tell you the story. In 1996, I was living in this apartment, racing this car, and I was working out of this shop. I was looking for a building to rent for my race car shop combination apartment. I needed one big enough so I could build a small place to live in and still give me enough room to work on my race car. To make a long story short, I bought some land and decided to build one myself. The land I found was full of mesquite trees. I have no idea how long it took me to clear them all off. So to save some money, I bought a fifth-wheel trailer to live in and take on the road for work. Maybe I should have looked around for a little better trailer. In 1999, I saved up enough money to start the build. I had everything planned out, but digging by hand wasn't what I had in mind. So I rented a machine to dig all the beams for the concrete foundation. But one thing I overlooked was how to remove all that dirt. Luckily, I had a friend that owned a bobcat. He moved it all for me off to the side. And on top of that, he sold me the sand I would need for the base to pour my concrete on. By late March, I was ready to start building my forms. I started using 2x10s for the forms, but after the first 100 feet, I switched up and built the rest of the forms from 2x4s and plywood. I put in all my plumbing, covered it up, and packed it down. After that, it was easier to dig it out again with a shovel and keep my beams from getting too wide. Digging by hand wasn't so bad. I was relatively still young, and the sand was easy to dig. I did all the calculations and figured out how much sand I was going to dig out, and that left me with the right amount of sand to get the correct thickness for my concrete foundation. After covering the whole thing with black plastic, the rebar was next. I don't remember how long it took me to make all the ties necessary, but I do know I made every one of them, and the count was well over 5,000. By now, the month of May had rolled around. It was almost time to pour when my boss gave me a call. He said, "Hey, I need you for only 1 week. I know you're working on your place, but there's been a fire at Quintana Refinery. I kind of need you." So I said, 1 week? That won't kill me. Besides, I could use the money. 11 weeks later, the job was done. It was August by now, time to pour, and for this I hired a crew to handle the trucks and spread the concrete and finish the slab. It took 11 trucks, which equaled 99 yards of concrete. After working all day on it, they were done, and they told me I should keep it wet. Well, I didn't have 4,000 square feet of burlap, so right or wrong, I built a dam all along the edge and turned on the water. As you can see, I didn't get everything level, but it wasn't bad. I had the biggest bird bath in the area until Hurricane Brett made landfall about 115 miles south of me. The wind was strong enough to kick up some waves, and that was the end of the bird bath. Now the fun part. I laid out my steel for the frame and started welding. Now I'm no welder, but give me enough time, I can make it hold. I just stacked up all my frames one on the other and welded the top side. A friend of mine asked if he could borrow their cherry picker where he worked, and somehow they said yes. They brought it out on a Friday and picked it up next Monday morning. So on Saturday, with another friend helping me, we flipped everything over so I could weld the backside. Sunday was the big day. We began by placing all the steel from one end to the other to build the frame of the building. Just a reminder, this frame was not a kit. I just ordered some steel, painted it up, and welded everything together. Next to go on was a way to hold the purlins, so I welded some tabs and would weld the purlins to them and the frame. My buddy Lowell started coming around more often to give me a hand, which I truly appreciated. I would wake up early in the morning and work till the evening, welding every day till the framework was done. Now it was time to start adding the siding. Still doing this, mostly all by myself, I used a 2x12 to hold the siding while I put in the screws at the top and bottom. Just like the steel frame, I worked on it every day. It was like a job, but somehow it was fun. By late October, I was getting close. With all the walls up and the overhead doors installed, this is a view from the street. So on the last day of 1999, I threw a New Year's Eve party. I like to tell people that nobody showed up, but the building was so big, it just seemed like it. Fast forward to 2002. I was now ready to start the framing on the house. The walls went up pretty quick, and being inside, I was able to work every day, rain or shine. With the downstairs walls completed, the upstairs floor joist was next to go in. My buddy Lowell and I spent a lot of time working to make sure that we had the correct run and rise for the stairs. It couldn't have worked out better. With all that work done, that was the end of the summer of 2002, and now it was time to go back to work.
Now it is April 2003. I started putting down the plywood for the upstairs flooring.
The little room where you see the vacuum cleaner, well, it was designed to be a fourth bedroom, but I decided I wanted to put the air handler in a hall closet, so I made each bedroom a little bigger and a large walk-in closet for the master bedroom. This is a view from the third bedroom, through the hall, and into the master bedroom. A 5-foot wide shower for the master bedroom. I started this building for a race car shop, but it has never been back on the track. Maybe someday. It is now July 2003, and the plumbing is starting to go in. Along with that is the ductwork for the AC. Another season of work has come and gone. It is now 2004, with most all the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. It is now time to start the installation. It always seems like I'm 20 years behind the times. I put in over 1,000 feet of Cat5 wire like I thought it was back in the 70s. Who ever heard of wireless Wi-Fi anyway? Also, I ran a lot of cable for my DirecTV to each room. That came out okay. I thought of this one on my own, and now it seems like everyone is doing it. I put a recess in the wall for the dryer hose. This is a valve box for my water shutoff and a washer connections. I thought all the plumbing worked out great. I can't remember having to make any tough decisions. Between the shop and the house, I used 1/2-inch plywood on the walls. If you haven't noticed by now, this is the only window in the house. I wanted to look out into my shop from my office. I decided not to do the sheetrock, tape, and float texture myself, so I hired that out to a local contractor. And that one window sure came in handy for them to bring all the sheetrock upstairs. I have no idea how long it would have taken me to do all that sheetrock work, but these guys knocked it out in no time. Seems to me like a lot of leftover sheetrock, but at least it was done and I didn't have to do it. This is a view of my front door and my laundry room door from the shop. I thought those rocks were such a great idea, but given it enough time, the weeds took over and I replaced it all with concrete. I bought an airless sprayer and went to town. I sprayed every wall and ceiling with primer without stopping. Took forever. After I painted all the walls with primer, the color went on. It is now 2005. Time for the cabinets. Everything went up fairly easy. It was like putting a big puzzle together. I didn't get many photos after that, but the furniture arrived and move-in day was October 2005. That's all I have for you on this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me or would like to leave a comment, please do so down below. I look forward to hearing from you. Well, it's nap time, so see you on the next one.